is up? My name is Brad and this is Operation GameCube. Now, for any of you that are new to the channel, in this series we're trying to build a GameCube collection starting off with just £10. By using our charity shops, our Carboots, our Facebook marketplace, looking for stuff for cheap that we can sell for a profit to build a game fund to buy GameCube bangers. Now, before we go any further with this week's episode, if you watched last week's, you will know that I went to Cardiff Gaming Market, and while I was there, I added 2 more games to the GameCube collection in the form of Pikmin 2 and P&O 3. Well, I never deducted them from the game fund, so we need to do that now. Spent a grand total of £63 on the pair, so we can deduct that now. And let's stick them back on the shelf, and while we're over there, let's take a look at how the GameCube collection is looking. So, very happy with how the GameCube collection is looking. We only have 12 games left on our list, plus a couple other bits and pieces. But let's get into the updates to the game fund. We made 4 sales this week. The first sale was a 2017-18 Welsh rugby jersey. That went for $24.99. We also sold one of them toys from that big bundle. We sold a 1997 Venom. That went for £4.59, I believe. And we also sold another Wales jersey, this time a youth kids jersey. This went for £9.99. And the last thing we sold over on Vinted was that Assassination Classroom manga. That went for £4. So after all deductions, that's a grand total of this, to add to the game fund for a grand total of this. Now, I'm very much trying to get on top of all the stuff I need to list. After picking up that big bag of toys a couple of weeks ago, there's a ton of stuff still to go through. I've started listing bits and pieces. I've still got stuff from weeks before the list. If you could see what is surrounding me right now, yeah. It's a lot of mess, a lot to get through, but this is what it is. I love this sort of thing. Sometimes if you don't stay on top of it, it gets away from you. So I definitely need to dedicate a bit of time soon, but I can't do it this week. I'm heading back to my hometown to see the folks this week. So while I'm up there, I'm hoping to hit a couple of CEXs, maybe a Carboot if we can on the Sunday morning. And yeah, just have a good time with them. Maybe do a bit of game hunting, see what happens anyway. But before we go, I would like to pop to the charity shops just around the corner. So let's just get going. Let's go. So before heading back to my hometown, I decided to hit the local charity shops just to see if there was anything good on offer. Now I tell you, when I made that drive back to my hometown, there was a diversion at Bristol that added an hour onto my journey. I have to admit, I got halfway through that diversion and wanted to turn around. But anyway, in the local charity shops, there were a bunch of games, some games I wanted to add to my collection, and they were super cheap. It's always nice to find games to add to your collection for a fraction of the price. The dude was actually just putting these out as I walked in, so perfect timing. So I grabbed a handful of games here. So something's happened as of late. I am actually ahead of myself. Now, I haven't been ahead of myself in terms of content since I started the channel. When you do a series like this and you take a week off or whatever, things can get away from you. But at the moment, I'm actually a little bit ahead. So you're watching episode which is about a week or 2 ago. It's a nice position to be in, takes the pressure off a little bit, but I still have to get out there, I still have to keep hunting, and I'm still trying to complete this series. So on the Sunday morning, we decided to hit the car boot. Now, a lot of the big outdoor car boots have closed for the winter. They're out in fields, out in the elements, so they just don't risk it with the weather. But this car boot is pretty new, and it's held in sort of a multi-storey car park, so the weather doesn't affect it. My mum actually does this car boot every weekend, but this weekend she decided not to do it and to just come with me and my family and do a little hunt there, see what we could find. Unfortunately, there wasn't a big turnout. I think there was about 6 or 7 cars at most, but it just goes to show it doesn't matter. A very small car boot, but I found some nice bits and pieces. There was hardly any people there, which is great as well. So nothing had been picked through. I had sort of picked from the bunch, and I found a few bits and pieces. Like I said, came across these mangas first. These were the first pickup. I think I paid 50p a piece for them. So yeah, a couple mangas there. So this dude here was definitely the seller I picked most of my stuff up from. He was definitely the saviour of the day. Yeah, I grabbed a handful of stuff from him. He did me a little bundle deal and it was definitely worth it. But you can see he has a bunch of DVDs, box sets and games down in these crates. But he also had a bunch of other stuff as well. And yeah, he definitely saved the day for me. So this is one of them sort of word search or dictionary, like digital dictionary things. These are worth looking out for. There can be some good value in them. I've sold a good one in the past for about 40 quid. So yeah, keep your eyes out for them. I had a couple of controllers and stuff on the table. Obviously I had no idea on price. Sort of judging by a book by its cover, he did look like a bit of a reseller or sort of like a house clearance sort of fella. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, when you sort of see what they're putting out, it's a real mix of stuff, almost as if they've just emptied someone's house. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know if you guys know what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments below if you know what I mean. But they had a bunch of different stuff, and these are the sort of ones you want to find. These are the sort of sellers you want to find, as long as they're not crazily priced. So yeah, started pulling out all the good stuff. You can see some games here and there, and yeah, just put a little bundle together, and he done me a good deal. And then just as I was leaving, I found a PS4 controller, and yeah, I only paid 4 quid for it. So it's a great little find on my way out. So later on in the day, we popped to Camberley to see my brother at work. I hadn't seen him all weekend, and it was my only opportunity to have a little catch up with him. But while we were there, I popped into the CX in Camberley, and I have to admit, I was actually quite impressed. Maybe my standards are real low, but yeah, I was really impressed with the store. I thought it was great layout and stacked full of stuff. There's some cool bits and pieces in the window, but all the sections were full. The PlayStation section was stacked full of games, Nintendo, Wii, everything was just full of games, and it's always good to see. I hate it when you go into a CX and the shelves are empty. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if Camberley is your local CX and if you agree with me that it is pretty good, has some good stuff. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. It's always nice to know where people are from who are watching the channel as well. So yeah, let me know below if you've been to this or are local to this CX. Another thing I quite like about visiting other CXs is obviously seeing what they have in. There's a bunch of games I've never seen before, some real cool like indie games and stuff, and yeah, I was really intrigued by some of the titles I saw. Some games maybe I'd never knew existed had I not seen them on this day. So yeah, a couple cool titles that I might pick up in the future. Of course, I headed over to the GameCube section. It's very small, of course. I'm yet to go into a CX and find a huge GameCube section. It's just the way it is. There's a lot less of them, it seems. But there was a game in stock that was actually on my list. So stick around to see if I pick that up. But yeah, I had to have a little butcher's while I was there. I did pop into one or two charity shops while I was home, and yeah, it definitely makes me appreciate where I live now and how good I've got it, because the prices on some of the stuff was pretty crazy, quite expensive. So yeah, definitely appreciate how lucky I am down my ways to have such good prices in charity shops. So this was the last charity shop I popped into. A couple games on the bottom shelf here. This Fortnite tenner. It is brand new, but yeah, £10 for this. Yeah, pretty crazy, and a couple box sets in there as well, which were quite expensive. But you know, it is what it is. I can't expect things to be how they are for me down here. So yeah, just again, real grateful for what I've got. It was almost the end of the weekend and time to head back to South Wales. Yeah, great weekend, lots of fun, great to see the family. Picked up a few bits and pieces along the way, and I'll catch up with you guys back in the games room. And we are back in the games room, and it's been a really nice week. That's exactly how I want to say it. A really nice week. I've really enjoyed it. There's been no pressure. I went back to my hometown of Woking to see my folks, spend good quality time with the family, and it's been great. And while we were there, we managed to pop to a Carboot on a Sunday morning, the tiniest Carboot you probably ever see, and it paid off. We also managed to go to a couple of CXs, did a little bit of charity shop hunting before I went, but that was it. But it was nice. It was just nice to get out, do a little bit here and there, and it all paid off. I managed to pick up a few bits and pieces. I'm adding some stuff to the collection here. I'm adding 2 more GameCube games to the collection. Plus, whenever I go home to see my family or see my brother, I never leave empty-handed, as my brother gifted me a GameCube game for the collection. It's not one off the list, but it's a GameCube game nonetheless, and we'll get into all that very shortly. But let's do the updates to the game fund. So adding 2 GameCube games to the collection and all the stuff we picked up to try and sell or trade. I spent a grand total of £88 this week, so we can deduct that from the game fund. I also spent the very little CEX credit that we do have. It's like £5 and some change. I just spent the whole voucher first, so we can deduct that now. So that is what we're looking like. But let's get into the stuff we picked up to try and sell or trade, and then we'll get into the other stuff after. So before I went home for the weekend, I did do a little bit of charity shop hunting just at the locals round the corner, and it paid off. There was a few bits and pieces in there, and this charity shop doesn't price anything up. You sort of pick up what you want, and they sort of pluck a price out of thin air at the till. And I suppose it just matters what member of staff is on and how much they want, because they charged me £1 a piece for this stuff, and I picked up some games, some of which I'm keeping for the collection, and some DVD box sets, and they were £1 each. So the first thing I picked up is this Skate for the PS3. I think it trades in for like £3, so £1 into £3, it's not too bad. Next thing is this Game of Thrones box set. This is seasons 1 to 5. CX sell this for a tenner. I think they'll give you like £3 trade or something. I'll probably trade it in. I can't imagine it's selling very well. If people are going to buy the Game of Thrones series, surely they're going to buy the lot and not just half of it. I think there was 8 seasons, so and I'm not sure if 1 to 5 is going to sell. I don't know. I'll have a look before I take it into CX. But £1 into £3 is still a good deal. And the last one is this, the Adam Dalglish Chronicles, P.D. James, starring Roy Marsden. This is a network DVD right here. One of them telltale signs. Always look out for this. It doesn't guarantee there's value, but if you see it, always have a look, because there is some value in this, some real good value as well. Now I paid £1, like I said. CX sell it for 15. They'll give you £5 trade. I might try and sell this myself on eBay. I have been doing pretty well with DVD box sets, so maybe I'll try first off to sell it there. But if no luck, £1 into £5 is okay. It was good. The rest of the charity shop pickups are going into my collection, so we'll get to them in due course. But when I went back to my hometown for the weekend, now I wanted to pop to the Carboot on Sunday morning. And there's a Carboot my mum actually does every weekend. And she didn't do it that weekend because we were there. But we went down nonetheless to have a look. And it's a small Carboot to say the least. She said the week before it was pretty jam-packed. They had 3 or 4 rows in this car park. But when we turned up, I think there was about 5 or 6 cars. And yeah, when you get out and see that, is it worth having a look? Well, it definitely was. Because of the small size of the car boot, maybe not a lot of people went, because I picked up some cool bits and pieces and I didn't pay a great deal. So the first pickup is a couple of manga, and it is Chitoshi is in the Ramoon bottle. My God, man. I don't understand this stuff, but I always pick it up. And it sells, maybe not the quickest, but I think I paid 50p for that and 50p for this one. Should sell that for about £5. This one is a Bungo Stray Dogs Volume 1. Now, this one pre-owned actually sells for about the £8 mark. So, yeah, not bad at all. 50p each. Hopefully about 12, 13 quid for the pair. It's not too bad. Next pickup was a bit of a bundle. I'm actually keeping 2 of these games for myself, but I'm showing you it as a bundle because that's what I picked it up as. It is this bundle here, and I paid 10 quid for the lot. 2 of the games are going in the collection, so I'll chuck them down there. But the rest of it, yeah, it's not too bad. Now, this one I probably shouldn't have picked up. That's Gran Turismo 5 for the PS3. I think CX gives you 90p for it. I will trade it in. I have it already just to get rid of it. Otherwise, it will just lie around probably. The next 2 are decent. Call of Duty Black Ops trading in for 6 quid. And the other one is Wii Sports, which trades in, I think, cardboard sleeve for about 3 or 4 quid. So not too bad at all. These 2 here will get my money back. And then this one here is worth about £15 to £20 mark. It is one of them like crossword solvers or like digital dictionaries or something. No, I sold an Oxford one of these for about 40 quid in the past. This one's not as sought after and not as pricey, but still about 15, 17 quid, something like that. So £10 into what, 70, 27 plus a couple games to the collection. I'll take that. So the next pickup is pretty cool. Now, I've sold the DVD for about £10 quite regularly. And it is Digimon the Movie. This is the VHS. Comes in this cool cardboard like case. And it has this mad like square sort of rectangle CD-ROM in here. Apparently it works. I don't really know what it does. But a lot of the ones listed on eBay don't have this. So I don't know whether this is going to add some value to it. Obviously the VHS is in there. You can see the CD-ROM there. It's like a weird shape. But apparently it says close gently and CD-ROM will run. So yeah, I don't know what it does, don't know what it is, but you don't see it a great deal on these VHS. For the ones listed on eBay, I think none of them have it. So yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit for this. I think the VHS on its own sells for about 7, 8 quid. With this CD-ROM, I don't know, maybe double, not too sure. But it's cool nonetheless. Yeah, pretty sick little VHS there, Fox Kids. Yeah, man, I actually got mad nostalgia when I saw this. I'm sure when I watched this back in the day, I had it on VHS. So, yeah, very cool pickup. Paid £1 for it. So, the last pickup from the Carboot is the best pickup. And I actually saw it as I was walking out. And I went over to him. I asked him how much he wanted for it. He said 5. I said, will you take 4? Pushing my luck. And he said, yeah. And it is a blue PS4 controller. This thing, C-grade, trades in at CX for about 24 quid. It's in pretty nice condition. I've seen a little bit of something that he's cleaning off. Like a little bit of, I don't know, glue or something. But yeah, if we can get that off, clean it up a little bit. It's got the serial numbers, it's never been tampered with. So yeah, hopefully around £24 plus, or at least £24. So yeah, great little find that. Don't find controllers and that for that cheap very often. So yeah, very happy to pick this up. And that is all the stuff we picked up to try and sell or trade. Not a crazy amount, but a nice amount nonetheless. Nice is the word this week. Nice, nice, nice. But let's get into the pickups for the collection. So all the games for the Carboot and Charity Shop are PS3 games, and I paid £1 a piece for them, apart from the 2 that came in that bundle. The first one is this Enslaved Odyssey of the West. Odyssey to the West, sorry. I really like the look of this. I've seen this many times, really like the look on it. Yeah, so great to pick this up and add it into my collection. Hopefully one day I can have a go with it. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Let me know in the comments below if you've played any of these games and if they're worth playing. But yeah, it's not a great deal of value in it, but for £1 all day long. Next one is Mafia 2. I need to play a Mafia game. I really like the look of the newest one. Old Country looks really cool. But I think I should go back and explore the first few first. So yeah, and I believe Mafia 2 is one of the better ones. So yeah, cool pick up there. Next one is LA Noire. Is that how you say it? Never played it. Looks kind of cool. Another sort of gangster game. Let me know in the comments below if you played it and if it's worth playing. We've got UFC 2010, Undisputed, sorry, 2010. Yeah, I almost picked this up the other week. I think it's like a £4 game. So yeah, picked that up for, well, pretty much like 50p or something. It's not too bad. And the last one is Heavy Rain. I've always liked the look of this. Always been intrigued by it. Would love to have a go at it. Again, let me know in the comments below if you played it and if it's worth having a go at. So yeah, they're the games we're adding from the Carboot and Charity Shops. And like I said, whenever I go back home, I never sort of leave empty-handed. My mum or my brother find like bits and pieces on their hunts and they keep them to the side for me. And they did just that. So my mum found this Biker Mice from Mars annual. Now I used to be on a mad kick for annuals, picking up tons of them. Actually quite a collection over there of them. Don't pick them up as regularly anymore, but Biker Mice I absolutely love. So yeah, great to pick up that. Cheers, mum. Really cool looking thing. This is the 1995 annual. Very cool. And off my brother, like I said, is a GameCube game, and it is the Sonic Mega Collection. It is complete with the manual. It also has another disc flap in there with some cheats on it, which must have come with the Cube magazine or something. But yeah, it's definitely only one disc, I'm sure. Let me know in the comments below, because I am clueless, as you know. But yeah, very cool to be adding this into the collection. I actually have a bunch of GameCube games that I've either picked up outside the series or I had before I started, and they live down here. So when I finish this operation, I'll put them all together and we'll have an even bigger collection than we have right now, which is kind of cool. So yeah, cheers, brother. I really appreciate you sorting me out with this. Me and him have little deals working back and forth. He is on a wrestling figure kick, so if I find any wrestling figures out in the wild, I'm always picking them up for him. So yeah, we do ourselves. You know, he'll grab GameCube games or bits and pieces like that for me, and we'll just swap them out as we go. So let's get into the GameCube games off the list. We are adding 2 more into the collection. Now the first one comes courtesy of eBay. I managed to get it for a lot cheaper than they sell it for on CX. I think it's like a £32, £35 game. I think about £26. It's always nice to get things cheaper. You know me, guys, that's the way I like to run things. I always like to get a deal. I like to get a little bit cheaper than the sort of retail value. And the game in question is Sonic Adventure DX, the Director's Cut. So yeah, this game is complete. Manual is in there. Disc is in nice condition. And yeah, great to add this into the collection. I actually have Sonic Adventure 2 already. This is the more expensive game, but I believe that's the better game. Let me know in the comments below, obviously, if you have played them. But yeah, great to add this into the collection. Let's stick him up on the shelf and knock him off the list. Just there for now. And Sonic Adventure right here. Oh, can't get it off. It's been that long, it's just burnt into the whiteboard. Yeah. So the next game comes courtesy of CX, and we actually picked this up really early on in the series and had to take it back because of the condition it was in. But so it's great to add this to the collection finally. I actually own this on the PS1 and the N64 and the PS4 already, and that game is Resident Evil 2. So this game is complete. Manual is in there and the disc is in fantastic condition. Now I absolutely love this game. I love the franchise. I played through the remake of Resident Evil 2 last year, and I set myself a goal of playing through the remaining remakes this year, and I've done just that. I completed Resident Evil 4. It was last week now. Absolutely loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. Every time I walked out of the house into the games room, it was coming on, I was playing it, and I couldn't stop, and I absolutely loved it. Bit gutted it's finished now. I'm not sure what to get into. I think I'm going to go into Village, because I don't think I ever finished it. I think I played most of it. Something come up, and I just never went back to it. So I might go back into Village, finish that off, and then I'm sort of in a position ready for Resident Evil 9 when it comes out, which looks absolutely sick. So anyway, let's stick this bad boy on the shelf and knock him off the list. Just there, my friend. Resident Evil 2. It feels good to knock that one off the list. So that is Resident Evil 1 to 4 on the GameCube. In the GameCube collection, I actually have 0 already down here. That's why I didn't put it on the list. Now, Veronica X is another story. Should I add it to the list? Should I remove a game and stick that on there? Let me know in the comments below. I don't really want to muck about with the list. Maybe we should just pick it up in addition. Just so I've got the whole subset of Resident Evil games on the GameCube. Feels a bit silly to not have that one. But anyway, I digress. We are now on 10 games left on the list, and I actually have one in the post. We will be hitting single figures very, very soon. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you did, smash that like button just to let me know. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.